All right, well, let's just roll. What's shaking, Bacons? Hey, listen, a lot has happened since I last talked to you, but let's just say there are things about the Zelensky meeting with Donald Trump that nobody's talking about, and only a Polack can help you understand, because I know how this Zelensky guy's brain works, right? I'll give you a little insight into it, right? Right? First of all, I think the first thing you got to realize is that when you're dealing with Zelensky, you're not dealing with someone of a Western mindset, right? He has a very, very Eastern matriarchal mindset, okay? He's like a girlfriend who maybe you had a beef with some dude at some point and she just won't let it go. You're like hanging out with the dude and buddies with him and she just wants to keep this bat going. She's like, you can't trust him. He's going to backstab you, you know? And so pretty soon it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know? So Zelensky is not Western-minded, and he doesn't understand that he's lost. He doesn't understand that he's lost land and people, that he got duped into, not because he's dumb, but because he has satanic ambitions. He got duped into going to war with Russia at the behest of the Biden administration, at the behest of NATO, because NATO was encroaching on Ukraine and wanted to put missiles in Ukraine. And NATO has this open door policy that says they could do whatever the hell they want, whenever they want. Those days are over. Those days are over, okay? The Cold War is over, you know? And the globalist elites and all those profiteers who've been making money off making hamburger out of people in these wars, those days are over. But the terrible thing is the beast will not lie down and die, right? It's most dangerous when it's trapped. So, you know, Zelensky could be going anywhere to get money and arms for the conflict or to find friends to take his side in the conflict. And, you know, he's running out of room, you know. But, you know, he's got this this Polack mindset. He does, and I wanted to talk about this. You know, like I said about Donald Trump, he is the George Washington of our generation because he knows what time it is. And you could obviously see that Zelensky didn't know what time it was. He should have shown up in a suit and tie, right? And said, thank you, I'm here to sign, let's have lunch, and gone home. You know, and things would have started changing for the better for him. Doors would have started opening, you know. Businesses would have started moving on the mineral thing. If you don't think those trucks aren't warming up right now, if they're not plugged into their generators warming up right now, they are, right? So as soon as that deal moved, but, you know, that means an end to power, and it means an end to flow of money and all the excitement, you know? And it'll all be over, and it'll all be over. But, you know, we're seeing the collapse of the elite structure in our world. They've been controlling what we see, what we hear, what we believe, you know, the wars we fight, you know, and it's all coming crashing down around them, you know. And, you know, and here's the thing. Here's another thing that people don't realize. What can't be said and what's not spoken and what Trump can't say in the meeting is that Trump, you're disrespecting Trump if you believe that Putin will break a ceasefire. That's the point. The point isn't Putin is not the biggest, baddest guy in the room. Trump is. And until Zelensky realizes that Trump is the biggest, baddest guy in the room, not Putin, it's that Trump holds all the cards, not Putin, until everybody realizes that. You're disrespecting Trump. Okay? Nobody, nowhere, no how, for nothing is going to stand up and defeat Trump. And you have to realize that, or you're not going to get anywhere. Right? Right? Only the Lord with the breath of his mouth is bigger than Trump. Right? It's true. So, when you fret over Putin breaking a ceasefire, what you're saying is, I don't believe you're the biggest, baddest guy in the room, Donald Trump. Typical female behavior, right? Zelensky's acting like a little chick. So, the one thing that has to happen now is, I think what's happening right now is every bad guy in the world seeking an opportunity to get his hand in the kitty over in the Ukraine. You know what I mean? It's not just because the way it's lining up now. I mean, the international relations guys just got to be going absolutely bonkers right now with this major international relations realignment that seems to be happening. China, the U.S., and Russia, right? China, U.S., Russia, Israel are all kind of, they're not allies. I'm not saying they're allies, but there's a realignment happening. And, it's kind of a strange time because you have the UK and France that have this influx of Islamic culture and populations, right? They have Islamic politicians now. So it's just a very strange time. Europe and Germany, they're not even, I don't even think you can really consider them European countries anymore. They're not really Western countries anymore. The U.S. is kind of a last bastion of Westernism, really, when you think about it. So who knows what's going to happen? Thankfully, we have the right people in place. And, if you want to look somebody up, look up Jeffrey Sachs and what he's saying at the UN councils and stuff. It's blistering, eye-opening, and it'll piss you off. You've been lied to your whole life. You've been held back your whole life. And I was thinking about also the other day when I was walking through Walmart, I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking around, and I was like, you know what? It just seems to me like what was going on was you sell the American dream so you get the next wave of immigrants in to do all the retail, menial jobs. Meanwhile, those who understand how the system works are getting grants and all kinds of funding for bullshit they make up in their heads. So everybody else can keep the wheels turning in the world, and they can create this machine, and then they just keep it going through wars, propaganda, cultural stimulation, whatever it is, And, Sachs was saying at the UN that a lot of these guys are doing game theory with everything. And that means that there's no negotiation. There's no reaction you don't want to react to your opponent. You always want to create the reaction so you're always in control. So it's all strategy and no dialogue. That's the world we've been living in. Men in positions of power have been playing Dungeons and Dragons with our lives. How's that make you feel? Huh? How's that make you feel? They've been playing Dungeons and Dragons, these nerds, wondering how the society and culture will react in these places, creating wars, toppling regimes. These people are evil, And the worst part of it is some of them actually feel like they're doing some kind of good for the world. That's how it always is, right? Wait a minute. Oh, I'm the bad guy? Yeah, you're the fucking bad guy. I think every good guy probably has that go through his mind more than once. A week. Am I the good guy here? Am I doing the right thing? I think that's what a good guy is always asking himself. He's always afraid he's going to be the bad guy. Bad guys are never worried about it. They never stop to think, wait, am I on the right track here? Am I kicking myself in the face? We'll have to wait and see. Fellas, welcome to the treehouse. We got to have a place where we come together and figure this out. Patriots, people who love your country, who love people, who want to be a good neighbor, if we're going to connive and consort about what we're going to do with our society, let's figure out how to make it transparent and real and organic, right? Let's make it organic. And men our age, men my age, middle-aged men and above, we really need to, this is a tumultuous time, right? This is a tumultuous time, but we don't want to get wrapped up in the tumult of it all. We don't get it sucked into the maelstrom, right? We can start figuring out how we're gonna stabilize and make our society better. Because over the next 4 years, I'm telling you, if everything goes the way it looks like it's gonna go, it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good. But there's gonna be people that we're gonna have to grab because they might be left behind or they might not understand. It's gonna move really fast, I hope. But to bring back patriotism and assimilation and the explanation that, all you have to do is say I'm an American and want to be one, and you are one. You go through the legal steps, sure, and all that. But as far as neighbors are concerned and people are concerned, if you're all hopped up on being an American, and you've got your American flag out front, you're a fucking American. I don't care if you don't even speak the English language at all yet. If you want to be like us, hell, my grandparents did that for me. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Seriously. It's not necessarily about numbers as much as it is, but it's about heart, desire, and soul. You choose to be an American. American is choice. It's not by birth, it's by choice. So, that's what makes this country great. Except for all the fucking lies they've fed us for the past 50 fucking years. Anyway, welcome to the Treehouse. Go in peace and serve the Lord. Like and subscribe. Nuke Lutheran.